All right, so aliens, what are they? Do they exist? And if so, where are they? Now, in the past, talking about aliens was a sort of one-way ticket to being considered a fruitcake, because it's obviously an area that's been well dealt with by Hollywood, with all sorts of fanciful tales, and all sorts of storylines, very entertaining storylines, but pretty fanciful. So it's understandable that people who take aliens more seriously, they can quickly be considered to be, as it were, not strictly adhering to observation and what we can see, because we haven't found alien generated radio waves yet, or at least we don't think we have. There is bacteria that we found in asteroids, which is interesting, meteorites. And of course, panspermia is a theory put forward by, I think it was Chandra Wickramasinghe, some time ago, about how life can move from heavenly body to heavenly body. So it's certainly an area that's been dealt with. But if you watch cable television, you can probably see there are people talking about ancient aliens and alien references supposedly in the Bible, and a whole range of different, and of course UFOs and so on and so forth, sightings. So it's a whole area that's been dealt with a lot, and many people hold that the US government knows far more than they're saying. And I think there was actually a plan to storm Area 51 in Nevada, and until that was discouraged by the US Army. So aliens, it's an issue that is worth having a bit of a chat about. As I say, panspermia is one theory that's been put forward that makes sense. But I think the simplest way to think about it is the universe is so large, it's highly unlikely that we're the only life forms around, even though life does take very specific circumstances to flourish. It does require this Goldilocks range of gravity and solar activity and water, liquid water and oxygen, or a suitable gas, for life to flourish. So that's very fair comment. Life is highly unlikely in terms of the universe, but it's more unlikely to think that we're the only life around. I think that's the best way to put that. Okay, so if we then assume that we're not the only intelligent life around, where are these other forms of intelligent life, and could they be close by? Can we think about this in a way that gets us closer to the truth? So we live in the Milky Way galaxy, which is about 100,000 light years across. We've got the Andromeda galaxy racing towards us at about 500 kilometers per second, but it won't get here for 4 billion years. It'll crash into us then, or deal us a glancing blow, I think is more the current scientific observation, what will happen. And then we have, I think we've got a couple of dwarf galaxies sort of spinning around us, actually. The Small and Large Magellanic Cloud on one side of the galaxy. Then on the other, I think we've got is it Sagittarius dwarf galaxy, or one of the Canis Major? I can't actually remember. I should look into it. But we're part of one big galaxy, and there's a few flying around us and sort of giving us matter as it gets pulled into the Milky Way, and gravitational pull as well. So we are big enough. We're big enough to have intelligent life in our galaxy aside from ourselves. All right, fine. Are they near us? If so, did they grow up near us? Or have they come to be near us of their own volition? All right, so if they grew up near us, it would, in our solar system, let's say, that's certainly possible, but it's highly unlikely, and we would have known about it by now, notwithstanding the fact we haven't visited Mars yet, but it's well accepted that there isn't intelligent life on Mars right now. So it's unlikely that there is intelligent life aside from us in our solar system. It may be out past the Oort cloud, several million, well, I should say several light years away. But we certainly haven't found it yet. And but it could have grown up there. It could have grown up 5, 10 light years away, and of course more light years than that. So then the question finally becomes, is there alien life near us now that grew up elsewhere but then came to us? And there's no evidence of that. There's some people who think that the aliens are already amongst us, examining our ways, which is possible, I suppose. But you've got to wonder why they'd be so interested in us as a species, number one. I mean, I suppose it'd be a great research project if alien civilizations have lots of universities, then I suppose they could use us as content for research projects. But I think more likely, if there were intelligent life nearby, they would need to be nearby for a reason. I don't think we're overly interesting, so I mean, I don't see that as a pull factor for them. But what could be interesting for alien intelligent life is the quantity of helium-3 on the moon. Now, our moon sits there basically collecting dust from all over the solar system, basically, but mainly from the sun, our sun, this soft yellow dwarf star that we have, which burns 600 million tons of hydrogen every second and converts it into helium, and it gives off about 4 million tons a second of solar material. And some of that is helium-3. As I say, it's created by the fusion of hydrogen into helium. The sun gives off a huge amount of energy, radiation, a huge amount in the infrared and far red, as well as visible light. So Roy G. Biv, it's actually white, but of course we see it as yellow or red because of our atmosphere. As I say, there's this solar wind that gives off, that part of which is helium-3. And if intelligent life forms could convert that into energy, then it would make even small-time mining on the moon very useful. Even just mining a few tons per week would provide a lot of energy over time. So if there is intelligent life nearby, it's probably on the moon. It's probably staying out of sight, and it's a mining operation for the benefit of mining that helium-3, which comes off our sun, which could be very useful to another civilization. There are some people who show pictures of the moon and try to say that there's evidence of construction there already, and physical structures that are not created by nature, that are created by intelligent life, and that's possible, I suppose. We'll find out soon enough. But if there are, that would be the reason. I don't believe intelligent life forms would be interested in Mars or Earth or Mercury or any of the other planets, but they could be interested in one of the moons of Jupiter, I suppose. But the main one would be our moon, because it's reasonably accessible and safe, and it has that huge pull factor of millions of tons of helium-3, which for the right technology becomes a very powerful form of energy.